Good evening, race fans, and welcome back for night number one of the United Dirt Sim Series Goyet Trucking 360 Spec Series Sprint Cars. We're here at Eldora Speedway, the half-mile high bank track that many of you know and many of you have visited. Let's see, how many cars do we have signed in tonight? Bear with me one second. So far, seeing right around 50 cars that are set to do battle tonight. This series is completely open, but is a fixed setup series. So it should be interesting to see what that brings for us, as you won't be getting beat by a setup, you'll be getting beat by other drivers out here on the track. Let's see, we got a few minutes to go before we'll be getting into time trials. Looks like about 8 minutes. Jake, have you had a chance to do any testing in these cars yet?
I did do one or two of these test sessions that the admins were doing to make sure everything's good to go for the new season, but I did a little bit, so it was a good time. I think it'll put on a pretty good show.
Yeah, I got a chance to test when we were first kind of coming up with the fixed setup. A lot of these were developed with the cooperation of Buckshot Billy Brickley, so they are competitive setups. We expect them to be reasonably fast out here on the track, and the cars are very, very drivable. So it'll be interesting to see what some of these guys think of the setups. They were released plenty ahead of time, so it shouldn't be a big surprise unless somebody was not really doing any testing with it leading up to this. But I expect we'll
Yeah,
see
I'm
some
pretty
good
interested
racing.
to see. Pretty interested to see how this goes with the you're used to these guys being open on the 360s. Typically, you don't see a fixed 360 series, so we'll see what these drivers got to do with this setup and see how they do with it.
I can tell you right now, looking at the timing screen, looks like Jason Nygaard has turned in the fastest lap in practice, and that was a 13.896. So for a 360, that's screaming pretty good around this track. You're well over a second faster than a 305 around this track. And looks like second quick was Chris Jones, one of our Australian drivers. And I believe he is actually out on the track now, so we'll go on board his cockpit to give you a little bit of an idea of what this track looks like as you make your way around the track. Passing the flag stand, going down into turn one. Turn one is a nice gentle entry, but turn two can be a little bit brutal as the track actually narrows up and the wall can come out and grab you pretty quick. Three and four, nice smooth turn, and you're back at the flag stand rather quickly. Looks like that last lap was in the neighborhood of 15.389. So 15 seconds in a track that's definitely starting to slow down.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like a feature time track there. So the driver's getting some practice out there for the feature. Again, this brand new 360 fixed series for UDSS, you can only adjust the wing out there tonight.
And not only that, all you have is the wing slider. You can't adjust the angle. So you're kind of stuck with what you were given. All you can do is tighten or loosen up the car by moving the wing forward and back. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys deal with that, because now you've got a power plant that's getting up, what are these, 650, 700 horsepower on the top end?
Yes, it sounds like it. Typically here, these 360s put on a pretty dang good show when it comes to the open stuff. Again, getting able to mess with the gear and whatnot. But this being fixed, I'm not sure what exactly the fixed setup Buckshot Billy Brickley put in for these guys, but him being fast when it comes to open stuff, he's got to be able to get around there pretty good.
Looks like Dustin Sargent, who was fifth quick in practice so far, out doing a little more practice now. And that's going to bring us to about 4.5 minutes out, so we're going to take a moment here and move over to our national anthem.
Two-time Grammy and three-time Academy of Country Music Award winner Leanne Rimes in the performance of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed checkered stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, and that's going to leave us with just a couple minutes here before we'll be going into our qualifying time trials. Jake, any insight you can give the fans watching tonight about what it takes to run this track in a 360?
Well, like you said, these are the fixed setups, but it's modified. It's a pretty good setup here from Billy Brickley, so it shouldn't be really anything too different from what you would run if you have a comfortable setup you like to run here on iRacing. But for sure, it's going to start off around the bottom for the most part, I would say, and so that about everybody can do that, I would hope. But here toward the end, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how these guys handle Eldora, you know, being able, or Eldora being notorious for running the wall here. See what guys do with the fixed setup. It might be kind of tricky because you know that's going to come in. It'll be pretty cool to see the new names coming up that don't typically, maybe don't have the best setup guys or whatnot, and see what they can do. But for sure, it's going to get up there on the wall. It's going to get tricky. Not much you can do other than tighten it up with the wing. So we'll see who can run this setup the best up there on that wall later tonight.
Yeah, and without a doubt, getting up on the wall here is interesting at best. The cushion builds up really tall. You can try to rest the right rear against it, but all it takes is the slightest little throttle at the wrong moment, and you're backward on the track, and it's right in front of the field. So it can get very ugly very quick. And at the same time, you have guys that are completely comfortable throwing the car right on top of the cushion and just being an absolute rocket all the way around the track. But I think we'll see probably 2, maybe 3 good grooves by the time the A main starts. The track does like to take a lot of rubber rather quickly, and that's when you find out who can drive these cars the best, because when the track goes slick, it really takes a good shoe to get around the track fast.
Absolutely it does. So this will be really cool to see. We'll see if any you know, we know who normally runs here good in these 360s. You see him out there. You know, Nygaard's going to be fast already, kind of toward the top of the list right now in practice. But we'll see if there's anything sticks out later tonight. Maybe somebody's just a rocket with this setup.
That's very true. It's always possible that you'll have somebody that just is completely comfortable with this setup. It's real similar to what they already run, so they could be an absolute beast. And we got a few guys underway right now during qualifying. We'll ride along with Brian Dorge as he makes his lap. As you can see, the track has been reworked after practice. We try to give these guys a good racing surface to start out with. It means it will be heavy for the first couple heat races, but it also means it gives the guys a chance to kind of adjust to the track as it wears in rather than having to jump right out on a slick track with a bunch of other cars.
Yeah, right now Dustin Shreves at the top of the chart with a 13.954. So that's getting pretty good around there, because I do believe they have a full fuel load for this qualifying session, correct?
That is correct. They're running basically an identical setup all the way through the night. So you're qualifying on full fuel, you're heat racing on full fuel, and when you finally get to your main, it doesn't matter if it's CB or A, you're running an A main configuration. So you have to be aware of that fuel back there, and if you're not used to running a car that's heavy in the tail tank, it'll get your attention real quick. Uh, Depending on how you have the car configured, you may notice it more than a different configuration of the car. And when you go into the corner, it'll try to come around on you almost immediately.
This will be interesting to see here, as people aren't typically used to running, especially in a 360, running qualifying with a full load of fuel back there. So this is really showing who can get it done.
Looks like current top 5, Dustin Shreves with quick time at that 13.954. Billy Brickley came really close. Whoa, and looks like Jason Nygaard just laid down an awesome lap. A 13.937, knocking Shreves off the top spot. Going back to third, Billy Brickley with a 13.963. Fourth is Daniel Gow with a 13.986. And Mason Hannigan is currently rounding out the top 5 with a 13.986 also. Looks like from there it's all 14s. Randy Shreves 14.003, Destin Sargent 14.003. So right there you got 4 cars that are real close together. If you really want to break it down, you have 14.070 in 20th. So right around a 10th separating the top 20 cars. This is going to be an incredible night of racing.
Absolutely. It's going to be down to the smallest mistakes is what's going to make or break some of these drivers tonight, for sure. As you can see it right now from the qualifying times, the littlest difference can decide whether you're, well, in this case, top 10 or deep into the 20s somewhere almost.
Yeah, I think some of these guys that took a very fast time, now they're going to be starting 4th in their heat race. Yes, they're in a transfer spot, but they're not necessarily starting up front in the A main, and they're going to have some significantly fast cars immediately in front of them. Whereas with an open setup, some of the time that gap between your fast cars and your guys that are starting on the pole because they were, mid-pack or upper mid-pack cars in qualifying, there's not that giant gap anymore. So this should be interesting to see what your fast cars can actually do. Is the skill as a driver going to make that big of a difference when you have a heavy track and an identical car?
Yeah, it's going to be really tough on especially Jason Nygaard, who's going to be starting 4th here in heat number 1. He's going to have a extremely clean track, and he's got to take that invert for being quick time here and start it in the second row outside. So we'll see what he does. As the night goes on, it'll become easier for those guys that qualified well to maybe move around a little bit with the track starting to go away. But for sure, these first probably 2 heat races are going to be pretty one lane to start for sure. So we'll see what these drivers do to go forward.
And how's this for some names that he's going to have to pass in Heat 1 if he wants to start on the pole? He's got Randy Shreves, Hayden Harvey, and Matt Yorker all starting in front of him. All these guys are talented drivers.
Yeah, he's gonna be put to work for sure, especially if he doesn't get up there in the A main later. He's gonna have to put on a show. But we'll see what he does. He might go right around him and win this heat race. It's gonna be tough for sure. But who knows? We'll see what happens here. Gridding up now.
Well, Jake, you want to take the starting grid for the first heat race?
Sure will. I'll take it here. Starting on the pole will be Matt Yorker, and outside of him will be the 55 of Hayden Harvey. And then row 2 we're going to have Randy Shreves in the number 56 car on the inside. And outside of him in the 22 quick timer tonight, Jason Nygaard. In the third row, you're going to have the 97 of Alex Hanna driving for Sofa King Fast Sim Sports. And then outside of him will be Steven Vogelsong. Go back another row here. We'll have the 217 of Jack Hitt. And right there outside of him in the 91, it's going to be Kyle Sargent. Go back another row here. We'll have the 09 of Aaron Gerwitz. And then outside of him will be the 144 of Johnny, sorry if I get this wrong, Collier?
Yeah, I believe
And
that's
then,
going to be Collier.
Collier. Okay, and then last row by himself there, it's going to be the 95 of Greg Ezard.
And if I'm remembering correct, I believe Greg Ezard is one of our Canadian drivers, so picking up some guys from around the world now. That's nice to see here in the league.
Looks like he is for sure, so
All right,
see what happens here.
Caution lights are out on the speedway. Matt Yorker now looking for turn 4. Start is on him as soon as the pace car leaves.
Green flag, green flag.
A nice jump from Matt Yorker. Hayden Harvey follows him down into turn 1 on the low side. Randy Shreve still holding on to third, and Jason Nygaard now looking to the outside. Somebody's upside down. I do believe that was Jason Nygaard that got tangled up there. That is a tough beginning to his night. No cautions in the heat races if we want to allow these guys a lot of laps. Hayden Harvey now all over the back bumper of Matt Yorker. Yorker slides up off of 4 and leaves the door open for Hayden Harvey, who's going to now move into the lead. Now Shreves looking to the inside. Matt Yorker's going to fall all the way back to third by the time this lap is over. Alex Hanna holding down 4th. Jack Hitt running 5th. And looks like now we're going to turn to single file right around the bottom.
Yep, we thought that this might just happen here early on until the track widens out a little bit more, but Alex Hanna getting a little lucky there. He's going to take the final transfer spot for now. Just outside of the final transfer right now is going to be Jack Hitt. He's looking to gain ground here on Hanna.
And it looks like Jack Hitt currently holding about 4/10 back off of Alex Hanna. Now Randy Shreves is pulled up to within a 1/10 of Hayden Harvey. Definitely putting some pressure on him. Looks like he's going to enter high, possibly slide down low. Nope, he's going to stay high off the corner. You know he's looking to start on that pole tonight if he can make it happen. Heat 1 winner will be the pole setter for your A main. Still, the track remains narrow, not blowing off as fast as we would have expected early here.
Yep, Hanna still holds on to that final transfer. Looking around, moving around, seeing what he can get. On third place right now, Matt Yorker.
Now Hayden Harvey with a slight slider covering off Randy Shreves, but he's going to leave the door open through 1 and 2. They bang wheels off at turn 2, and Randy Shreves now takes the lead down the backstretch. Harvey looking low, still trying to find a way back around Shreves. Shreves content to run the cushion, and we've got a car in the way. That's going to tangle Hayden Harvey. Not sure who that was out there, a lap down possibly. Possibly Greg Ezard in the 95.
And unfortunate for him. Randy Shreves, though, with the drive from inside of row number 2. He's going to take the win there. As Alex Hanna comes from 5th to take 3rd, he will transfer in. And Jack Hitt will take the final transfer spot, coming from 7th place. So, heck of a run for him.
Yeah, great first heat race. We definitely saw more action than I expected to see, being that the track is so narrow right now.
Definitely a lot of moving around there. Some unfortunate things happened, but some drivers that thought they might be fighting for maybe a C or B main later on actually transferring right into the show here.
All right, that's going to lead us over into heat race number 2 of your Goyet Trucking 360 Spec cars. Starting on the pole, the number 13 on the wing, 48 is his scored number. That is Eric Wilkie, who just picked up the 305 Spec Series win. Outside of him is the 37 of Jeremy Isabel. Row number 2, Dustin Sargent in the 77, and Dustin Shreves, who was second quick, in the number 40. Row number 3, John Klimowis, I believe I pronounced that right, it's been a while, and Stephen Fernberg in the 029. Row number 4, Connor McGowan and Christopher Milani. Row number 5 will be Clarence Rosa and Anthony Goyet, who is the sponsor of this series. And rounding out row number 6, starting 11th, Bradley Hunt in the 49.
Dustin Shreves, your fast qualifier in this heat race. So we'll see where he goes from here.
I think he's really hoping for a good start from Jeremy Isabel, and Isabel is a talented driver. He's, I believe, brand new to the United Dirt Sim Series, but he is a very well-known driver in some of the other leagues out there, so pace truck is in, and great start for both inside and outside. Top 4 really pulling away into turn 1, and Jeremy Isabel battling back.
Ooh, little contact there.
Ooh. Looks like Eric Wilkie is going to lead lap number 1, Jeremy Isabel in second, Dustin Sargent looking low, possibly getting a run off of Isabel. And looks like he's going to have to surrender that position back. Looks like the bottom's finally starting to slow down a little bit. These guys will start venturing higher up the track. And now Dustin Shreves looking down low. Almost had a good run around Sargent, but not able to make it stick.
Right now, Dustin Shreves in the final transfer position. Christopher Milani, right behind him right now, started 8th. He's looking to peek in to get into the A main later tonight. He's got some work to do there, looks like.
Yeah, sitting about a second and a half back off of Shreves. He's going to need something pretty significant to make the A main the easy way.
Now, this top 4 kind of checking out right now.
Yeah, this is a very, very talented, very fast top 4 in this heat race. Now Wilkie looking way high up the track, possibly running a slider line that he ran to good effect. Whoa, slider from Jeremy Isabel, not able to make it stick. Eric Wilkie turned the car back down, drove back under him. Looks like these two are going to dice it up for the remaining laps here. Wilkie slams the door into turn 3. Looks like he's trying to prevent that slider from coming back at him.
Race for the lead there. Dustin Shreves finds his way around Dustin Sargent. So he's sitting in 3rd place. Now he's looking to battle for the lead, possibly.
Shreves, another talented driver, our teammate at Most Wanted Motorsports, so we definitely want to see him do well here.
Right now looking good. Looking to the outside of Jeremy Isabel right now. As Eric Wilkie's got that slider line rolling pretty fast right now.
Yeah, without a doubt, I think he's got a slight advantage over some of these guys, being that he just ran a full 305 race and got to see how the track was going to develop.
Definitely got some laps under his belt on this track tonight.
And that's going to bring us around. Wilkie picking up the win with Jeremy Isabel, Dustin Shreves, and Dustin Sargent being your top 4, transferring direct into the A main. Going to the B main will be Christopher Milani, Connor McGowan, Clarence Rosa, and Anthony Goyet. And remaining drivers will be in the C main tonight.
Well, here we go with heat race number 3. It'll look like on the pole here is going to be the 16 of Ryan Dorge. Outside of him in the 25 car, that will be Lance Johnson. Inside second row in the 13 car, orange and white, is going to be Aiden Berlin. Outside of him in the 00, that is the fast qualifier for this heat race, 00 Buckshot Billy Brickley. Third row inside in the 3 car, it's going to be Rick Schneider. Outside of him in that 8 car is going to be Carl. How do you say that again? I know we've heard it. I'm new to this.
Carl Deach.
Carl Deach will be in the number 8 outside third row. And right there, in the 4th row, number 34 car, that will be Thomas Kennedy. Outside of him in the 10, that'll be Coulter West. And right there in the 5th row, looks like right now all by himself. 33 car on the wing, but that he's listed as the 27. That's Joshua Pickle. And I don't think we have Greg Detweiler or Timothy Brantley who were supposed to line up there.
Yeah, possible scratch for the evening from Greg Detweiler and Timothy Brantley.
That looks like it.
And another one of our Canadian drivers, Thomas Kennedy, Knoxville regular, who's currently trapped north of the border. Hashtag Free Kennedy.
You know, this is the only thing he can do right now, so no better place to do it than with the United Dirt Sim Series right now here on iRacing.
Yeah, we're definitely happy to have a lot of these guys showing up. Hopefully we'll have a chance to see Thomas Kennedy back at the Knoxville Raceway soon in real life, as they're finally getting started up in Iowa.
Yeah, absolutely. You got a feel for him, for sure. You know, getting to watch everybody else race while he's
he's going
stuck
nuts
at
right
home
now.
watching it. Absolutely. You know, he's got to be just itching to race. So hopefully he can get back there soon.
All right, caution lights are out on the pace truck, and we'll be going green out of turn number 4. Ryan Dorsch leads him down around to the green flag.
Green flag, green flag.
And nice start from both inside and outside. Looks like great run from Buckshot Billy Brickley around the outside. Managed to have a peek there at 3rd position. Looks like Beerline's stuck down around the bottom and he can't get any momentum moving. And 2 cars tangled down the front stretch. I do believe that was Thomas Kennedy and Rick Schneider possibly. Flashing back up front, looks like Lance Johnson is going to lead the next lap. And Billy Brickley is up to 2nd.
Absolutely. Billy Brickley in a hurry already here on lap 3. Going forward in 2nd, looking for the lead now to the outside of Lance Johnson.
I think he might be a little bit nervous knowing some of the talent that is going to be starting up in front of him in that A main if he doesn't get up front.
Yeah, Lance Johnson turning back under Billy Brickley there. They're starting to battle here for the lead as Aiden Berlin right behind him.
Looks like Brickley's finally going to make a slide job more or less work, but Johnson once again managed just to turn down off the corner.
Aiden gonna steal it from both of them here. Coming out of turn 4. Brickley behind Aiden now. He's gonna throw another one here on Aiden. This is getting nuts.
Aiden turns back down low. Now Aiden Beerline is going to throw the slider in turn 4. I think that one might be finally the one that's going to stick, as Brickley is going to settle to follow through turn 1 and 2.
A little bit of contact there. It's going to set those 3rd and 4th positions back a little bit as there's a little more contact between Carl and Lance Johnson. Right now, Billy Brickley working on Aiden Berlin.
It's like slowly beginning to close the gap back up down to 0.2 as of right now. I think Brickley's setting on that white flag, going to try to throw the slider coming out of possibly turn 3 and 4.
This will be the white flag lap.
And looks like Brickley now blinking in and out. And sure enough, there it is, slider. Beerline turns it back under. Oh man, what was that finish?
One with the line. Brickley will take the win by 0.004 seconds. Wow.
Wow.
Brickley coming from 4th. Your fast qualifier is going to take the win. Your top 4 are going to shake down like this. Billy Brickley taking that win, as we said, from the 4th position. Aiden Berlin finished 2nd, right behind Billy. Man, that was a close finish. Lance Johnson, who started outside front row, will take home 3rd, and your final transfer position will be the 8 of Carl Deitch.
All right, moving into heat race number 4. Starting on the pole will be the number 1 of Trace Olson. Outside of him will be Caleb Harmon in the number 11. Row number 2, the 000 of Austin Stern and the 122 of Daniel Gow. Row number 3, scored as the number 47, wearing the number 4 on the wing. That will be Tyler Street of Sofa King Fast Sim Sport. And outside of him will be Mason Mier in the 36. row number 4, the 0-1 of who I've begun to call Professor X, Blaine Brink. And outside of him will be Andrew Winnings in the 26, sorry. Row number 5, the 39 of Kyle Stewart, and the 53 of Dave Ward Jr. And row number 6, rounding out the field, will be the 57 of Mark Shepard.
You know, right now, Tyler Street is probably sick of the spot he's in right now, being one spot out of a transfer, as he missed the spot out at Attica this past, what was that, Friday? Yeah, it was a Friday night. Watched him on Dirt Vision after the World of Outlaws race.
Yeah, I believe he
missed
was
his spot by one. Tim
and-
Schaefer stole it away from him.
Yeah, gave up the last transfer spot to the Steel City Outlaw of Tim Schaefer, and pulled one hell of a wheel stand coming out of turn 4. I'm pretty sure they had to knock a dent out of the tail tank after that one.
Yeah, that was a pretty good run. I know he was disappointed, but that would have been his second race in a 410 in real life. So, you know, hasn't wrecked it yet. I'd say he's doing pretty dang good. So we'll see what he can do here as they're getting ready to go green.
And looks like
Trace
a
Olsen.
nice steady pace from Trace Olsen and Caleb Harmon. Field bunches up behind them, and we are green. Huge jump from Trace Olsen. That's going to allow
Tyler
Austin
Street
Stern.
looking to the inside already.
Yeah, Street and
He is
Harmon
not
already
waiting around.
battling. And it looks like Daniel Gow was the recipient of an unfortunate move out of turn 2. He's all the way back in 10th now. So some of your fast qualifiers really struggling to get into that A main the easy way.
Right now, Tyler Street into the third spots from 5th. Austin Stern riding around in 2nd, starting inside row number 2. Caleb Harmon right now holding on to that last transfer spot, as he has got Blaine Brink a little ways back yet, but he's got not done yet. Still early on, right? Blaine Brink started 7th, so looking for a transfer spot right now.
And Trace Olsen right now is watching his lead evaporate as Austin Stern is closing in rather quickly. Right around 2/10 at the entry of the corner and about 1/10.5 off of the corner. But now Tyler Street is all over the back bumper of Austin Stern. So Stern having to look in 2 directions at once.
Harmon still with that last transfer spot right now. Blaine Brink looking to the inside. Nothing for him there. Battle is on for the final transfer position here in heat race number 4. Trace Olsen still out front by a good distance, with Austin Stern still in 2nd. Tyler Street still looking in 3rd, right on his tail tank right now, looking for the 2nd position.
Looks like Blaine Brink had a little mistake there going into turn 1. Got a little too far sideways, and that's likely going to put him in the B main, barring something drastic.
You know, every spot in these heat races are meaning quite a bit here, especially in these late couple heat races. Going between a 3rd and 4th is like a couple rows, almost 2 rows maybe.
Yeah, essentially you lose 5 spots on the grid is what you're looking at for every spot you are back from the leader. So extremely important to get a good finish in your heat race. And looks like Trace Olsen picked up the win there. I did not catch the rest of it.
Austin Stern finished 2nd there with Tyler Street right behind him. Caleb Harmon held on to that final transfer position, as Blaine Brink will have to go to the B main after battling there.
And that's going to bring us around to heat number 5, starting grid, as the drivers begin to roll out on the speedway.
On that front row, it's going to be Chris Jones in the 54 car. Outside of him, Derek Bond. 2nd row inside, Travis Oldfield in the 38 car. Outside of him, in the 1X, it looks like, but listed here as the 58. That will be Mason Hannigan. Third row inside. Not there, doesn't look like. David Hillian. Doesn't look like he made the grid there. Unless something's messed up on my part. I don't think so. But David not making it there. But outside third row, supposed to be Andrew Holmes. And there in the fourth row, Tyler Klaus. Outside of him, Ron Meister. And starting ninth, it's going to be Brandon Shipley in the 02. Stephen Muller at 29. Outside of him, and all by himself, Stephen Renault in the number 59.
And that's going to bring us around to our green flag. Chris Jones with a
Green.
late start there, but led him to have a good jump, and looks like Travis Oldfield going to follow him through right up to second place. Great battle going on now as Mason Hannigan, finally somebody working the low side of the speedway. Whoa, two cars tangled. That was your leader and I believe second place that tangled on the front stretch. That's going to leave Mason Hannigan with the lead. Tyler Klaus and Derek Bond now battling for second and third.
Right now, Mason Hannigan glued down to the bottom, running it well. Got a battle going on right behind him with Derek Bond and Tyler Klaus. As Tyler Klaus started 7th in this one. He's going to jump forward pretty far here as he is riding along in the 3rd position, as well as Brandon Shipley started 9th. He's in your final transfer spot right now.
And Klaus there with a slight error through 1 and 2. Just missed the bottom of the track, slid up, and Derek Bond pulls away. Now Mason Hannigan is looking at some lap traffic now, the first of our heat races to get there. Working the low side, slides right underneath Chris Jones.
Tough break there for Chris Jones. Started on the pole. Little incident there. Gonna put him back in the C main, it looks like. Mason Hannigan out front. Nice lead over Derek Bond right now in the 2nd position. Tyler Klaus a little bit behind him yet. Still looking for that 2nd spot. Get him a better starting spot here in the A main.
We're gonna go on board with Mason Hannigan now, get you a little idea of the wheel work and the throttle work you have to do to make it around a track when it starts to slick off like this. Now keep in mind this is still very early. The track gets much, much worse than this. But slowing it down, nice and smooth on the throttle, smooth on the wheel, nothing too extreme. And down into turn 1, same thing, trying to keep right up against that wall, keep the left rear in the moisture, get the right rear in it if you can. Back now, looks like Derek Bond still riding about a 1.5 seconds, almost 2 seconds back off of Hannigan. No real crazy battle on the track right now, but white flag is out, and Mason Hannigan looks like he's going to bring home heat race number 5. Derek Bond 2nd, Tyler Klaus in 3rd, and Brandon Shipley will be your 4th and final transfer. Travis Oldfield managed to work all the way back up to 5th after he tangled early on with Chris Jones, but not quite enough time to get it done.
Yeah, it looks like we got a track reset coming for the start of our C main here. Or we'll transfer on from a 12-lap C main. Tracks looks like it's been reworked. So this is going to shake it up a little bit here for the C main. It's going to be a 1-laner again, just about. So
well, depending on how much moisture they put back in the track, it could go 1 lane for a few laps and then open back up like it should, or you could have a single file race through the majority of the C main. Either way, the guys that are starting in the back are probably not happy seeing the track crew rework the track. But that's going to bring us over to our starting grid for tonight's C main. Starting on the pole will be Anthony Goyet, and outside of him, Joshua Piquel. Row number 2, Andrew Winnings and Chris Jones. Row number 3, Hayden Harvey and Brad Hunt. Row number 4, Rick Schneider and Kyle Stewart. Row number 5, Stephen Renault and Greg Azard. Row number 6, Stephen Fernberg and Greg Detweiler. Row number 7, Daniel Gow and David Hillian. Row number 8, Jason Nygaard and John Clemowis Jr. Row number 9, Timothy Brantley and Mark Shepard. And rounding out the field, starting from row number 10 all by himself, will be Andrew Holmes. I look at this starting field and all I can think is there is a lot of talent out there, but I believe a few guys throughout the field did not make the call. I believe Brad Hunt, Rick Schneider, Stephen Renault, Greg Datweiler, David Hillian. I'm not sure if those guys actually made the call, so some of these guys that were going to have to start way in back are now looking a little closer to making it into the show tonight.
Yeah, it looks like only about 11 cars showed up here, so that's going to make it a little bit easier on Jason Nygaard. He still has to get to the top 4, but looks like he will actually start all alone back there by himself in that 22 car. Don't take your eye off him.
And we're actually going to go on board with him since he is sitting as the tail gunner on this field. Give you a little bit of an idea of what it's like on the start when you're starting in back and you got all these cars in front that you have to get by as quickly as possible.
Green flag, green flag.
Got 12 laps to do it. Here we go as Anthony Goyet takes the green.
Nygaard already working his way up through the field. He's up to 9th, looking through the middle now, and working the bottom off the corner. That's going to put him all the way up to 7th, so he is a man on a mission here as we've got a car joining the track late.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
That's going to bring out the yellow.
Wow.
A few of these guys apparently haven't reviewed the rule book properly because that is going to end the night for Bradley Hunt. Is that
Definitely
technically
going to have some penalties handed out there.
yeah, that is probably going to end his night as he entered the track while we were under green. For those that watched our 305 series, the limited 305 challenge, you may have heard some of the rule changes that we had. One of them, since we've gone to DNC yellows, you are not allowed to enter the track under green flag conditions. It's part of our quest for bringing a little bit more realism to iRacing and our broadcasts. Now this series you have a single fast repair. So you definitely have to take care of your equipment. We're hoping that's going to reduce some of the cautions that we see out here on the track and help us get these shows in nice and quick.
Definitely a nice new addition, as well as the 360 Fix series here for some drivers. As you look in as your top 4 right now, Jason Nygaard took no time to get into his transfer position. Let's see if he holds on to it.
And we'll have a double file restart here as we are still ahead of the halfway point of this race. As you see, laps are taking off under caution in our consolations and our heat races. It's part of the reason we try to resist throwing cautions in those.
Yeah, for
Green
sure.
out, green
As
flag,
here we
green
go
flag.
back to green. Anthony Goyet with a nice jump on the field. Right behind him right now is Hayden Harvey. Second as Mr. Nygaard still working the bottom.
Now you got Kyle Stewart all the way up to 4th now. And Goyet with a small error there that's going to give Hayden Harvey the lead, and Jason Nygaard's going to sneak through as well. A few guys getting a little squirrely through the back of the field. Goyet still looking to the inside, possibly trying to find a way back around Jason Nygaard. And now Daniel Gow is all the way up to 4th. If you remember, I believe he was 4th quick during time trials and was one of the ones that had a tough break in his heat race, now having to race his way in through the soup.
Well, as Nygaard had the same issue, finds himself right now in 2nd position behind Hayden Harvey. Right now, track's still very fast as Daniel Gow is holding on to that last transfer spot at the moment. Kyle Stewart outside looking in the 5th position. So he now goes to the outside in turn 1 and 2 on the cushion. Coming out of 2, they're side by side down the backstretch for the transfer position.
That is not what Daniel Gow wanted to see as we're coming to the white flag now. It's Kyle Stewart and Daniel Gow working top and bottom around the track, but Looks like Gao is going to have the better run down the backstretch. That might be the end of the night for Daniel Gao. Looks like Kyle Stewart's going to bring home the fourth and final transfer. Anthony Goyet in third, Jason Nygaard in second. And with your C-Main win will be the 55 of Hayden Harvey. So those four drivers continue on to tonight's B-Main event, which will be 15 laps. A lot of guys going home from that first C-Main here.
There was, and now we got to see if Harvey and Nygaard have anything for this B-Main field, as Nygaard charged from 15th, but not really a 15th, more of a 11th to second there in the C. See what he can do in the B-Main. On the pole of this B-Main will be Steven Vogelsong in the 52 car. Outside of him in the 33 will be Christopher Mullany. Second row inside in the 10 car, that'll be Coulter West. As actually Christopher, speaking of which, he did not grid up, so that's actually going to put Blaine Brink there, who was scheduled to be outside row number 2. Inside of row 3 in the 5th position is going to be Travis Oldfield. In the 38 car, 91 car, starting outside of him will be Kyle Sargent. In the 64, 4th row inside will be Connor McGowan. 34th, Thomas Kennedy will be outside of him in the 8th spot. Mason Mier be in the 5th row inside, outside of him, Stephen Muller in the 29. 11th will be Johnny Collier in the 144. Clarence Rosa in the 15 and 12th. Ryan Dwarge in the 16. Be starting 13th with Dave Ward in the 53. Starting 14th, Ron Meister in the number 45 car will be starting 15th. Aaron Gerwitz 16th. Hayden Harvey 17th. Nygaard 18th. Anthony Goyet also from the B-Main be 19th, and
Green
Kyle
flag,
Stewart
green
20th,
flag.
as we are green now for the B-Main.
And we're back up front now. Looks like Steven Vogelsong going to take the early lead with Blaine Brink and Coulter West following right behind. Looks like Travis Oldfield now going to work the bottom. Little bit of a slider up. It's going to stack up the field a little bit behind them.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And that's going to bring out the yellow. So these guys going to lose a few laps under caution here. That was not exactly what guys like Jason Nygaard were looking for. They wanted to see this go green a little bit longer. Nygaard still setting back in 17th. Hayden Harvey up to 15th now.
Still got their work cut out for them for sure after transferring from the C. Right now, moving on to your A, will be 52 of Steven Vogelsong, Travis Oldfield in the second position, Blaine Brink in third, and Coulter West will be in your final transfer position right now. We'll see what happens here as Thomas Kennedy started 8th. He's on the outside looking in 5th.
Yeah, with Thomas Kennedy not able to jump in the real car, I know he's wanting to make this A-Main tonight.
Absolutely, and right now he is not looking bad as he is only one position out right now. 4 laps down, looks like. 5 as they cross the line here.
And caution lights look to be out on the pace truck, if I can tell. Yep, and double file restart here. Vogelsong and Travis Oldfield will lead the field back to the green flag.
Vogelsong will take him to the green coming out of turn 4.
Green, green, green.
On him, he gets a nice jump. Holds the lead down the back straightaway as the yellow comes out again, unfortunately.
Got a few guys kind of antsy to get into that A-Main, and that's going to cost them a few more laps.
Definitely going to make it hard. If you're running too hard back there and bring out the yellow, you're just leaving yourself less and less time in these mains. With the caution laps are counting in these, you're just leaving yourself less and less time each caution. So you got to move up through the field, of course, but you also got to do it safely so that your positions and your time doesn't get away on you.
Yeah, without a doubt, as laps tick down like this, you can't be making many mistakes. And you have a single fast repair. You definitely don't want to have to use it when you're out here during a B main or a C main, because going to the back, you don't have a lot of laps to make it back to the front.
And it looks like our top 4 that are transferring on right now is still the same, with Mason Mier now in the 5th spot on the outside looking in, as Thomas Kennedy is behind him now as he drops 1 spot.
Yeah, it looked like Kennedy got a little bit tangled up through 1 and 2 on that last restart. Couldn't really get his speed up through the corner. I think a few guys were kind of sliding up in front of him.
And we're going to have a double file restart here again.
This will be their last attempt at a double file restart, as we are now technically passing the halfway point, and it's the second attempt at a double file.
And not much time left here, so we'll see what Thomas Kennedy and Mason Mier can do.
Green flag,
The
green
little
flag.
time remaining, we are green again.
Vogelsong with another great jump. Oldfield working the high side, but now Blaine Brink looking to the low side, trying to put a move on Oldfield.
Field's going to throw the slider in turn 3 and 4. Vogelsong tries to get back underneath him. He's going to return the favor in 1 and 2.
And
Not
now
going to get it done.
Thomas Kennedy moving up to challenge Blaine Brink for that 4th and final transfer spot. Working the low side like a pro.
Throws the
Whoa, what a
slider.
slider.
Move.
Wow.
What a move by Kennedy as we got one into the wall. That's Oldfield.
Looks like he got it straightened out.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there.
More cars tangling back in the field. Must be a few throttles that are stuck open.
Right now, Thomas Kennedy in the 3rd spot now, coming from the 8th position. Blaine Brink holding on to your final transfer position at the moment.
He's definitely working on the back door of Thomas Kennedy. I'm sure he wants a little insurance, because Mason Mier is right there in 5th, outside
Look
looking
who's
in.
coming from the C main, Aiden Harvey getting in here.
Now Harvey with the slider gets around Mason Mier, but Mier going to battle back. That's going to be white flag coming out. Harvey on the high side, working around the outside of Blaine Brink. He's got the lead into 3. Carries the momentum. Hayden Harvey with the lead off of 4, and he's going to take...
As they get together.
Oh,
wow. And I think they're going to give it to Harvey. They do. Hayden Harvey coming from your C main. He's going to the A as he picks up the final transfer position. Thomas Kennedy getting in, finishing in the 3rd spot from the 8th position. Holter West 2nd, and Vogelsong in the 52 car will take the win of the B main.
That
What a finish.
was a heck of a finish to that race.
Wow. Blaine Brink unfortunately not making it after that race there with Harvey. Harvey almost coming out of nowhere, at least from my eyes. I see Blaine Brink and Thomas Kennedy going at it, and then all of a sudden here comes Hayden Harvey and steals it away in the final corner.
Yeah, and
We are practicing now.
he had an absolute incredible run around the outside there. And right now I've got the timing screen pulled up. We'll see who starts turning in the fastest times of the A-main warm-up. Looks like Billy Brickley currently setting fastest, but now Dustin Shreves is going to pass him. Randy Shreves in 3rd. If I'm remembering right, the Shreves are cousins, correct?
Yes, they are. As Dustin, one of our teammates on Most Wanted Motorsports, and his cousin Randy on Sofa King Fast Sim Sports.
It looks like current fastest lap on the track is Billy Brickley with a 14.310. Randy
No surprise
Shreves
there.
behind
He
him with a
put this setup
14
together.
14.380.
Brickley definitely knows what he's working with right now, as I know he's been in these practice sessions running this setup for sure. We'll go ahead and get the starting lineup going here. Starting 24th, getting in from the B main will be the 55 of Hayden Harvey. Thomas Kennedy in the 34 car, even though he really is the 21. Will be starting 23rd on the inside of Hayden. Coulter West, also from the B main, will be starting 22nd, looks like. And then Vogelsong, your B main winner, starting 21st.
All right, now I'll go from the start of the field. Looks like starting on the pole. Once it rolls around here. There we go. Starting on the pole of tonight's feature event, that will be Randy Shreves in the 56, and outside of him, the number 48 of Eric Wilkie, looking to double up on the night with that starting position. Row number 2, the double lot, Buckshot, Billy Brickley, and Trace Olson in the number 1. Row number 3, Mason Hannigan and Matt Yorker. Row number 4, Jeremy Isabel and Aiden Beerline. Row number 5, the 000, Austin Stern, and the number 9 of Derek Bond. Row number 6, Showtime, Alex Hanna, and Dustin Shreves in the 40. Row number 7 will be Lance Johnson and Tyler Street. Row number 8, Tyler Clowes and Jack Hitt. Row number 9, Dustin Sargent and Carl Deitch. Row number 10, Caleb Harmon and Brandon Shipley. And row number 11 you have already covered. That is Stephen Vogelsong and Coulter West. And Thomas Kennedy and Hayden Harvey will round out the field.
Those guys coming from the B main, we'll see what they do here, as Hayden Harvey, I'm sure, looking to go forward after coming from the C main to get into this A main final starting position.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what line some of the guys in the back of the pack actually choose to run, because right now I'm looking at a track that, at least through 3 and 4, there is one heck of a lot of moisture left right in the middle of the track. Top side you got the cushion, bottom side you get the short way around the track, and you can get the left rear down in the moisture, but you don't have the banking. But right through the middle, there's still a lot of moisture left, and I think we'll see a few of the guys back in the field kind of go there. Now the question is, will it stay there when they go down the straightaway?
Absolutely, after seeing the track work, and to have a fresher track state here for the A, as we go green with Randy Shreves taking us into turn 1.
Looks like Brickley now looking at 3rd, possibly looking at 2nd now. Eric Wilkie covering him off going into 3 and 4. Just looking for some early movers
middle,
here.
as you were talking about. Eric Wilkie, as he goes to the top in 1 and 2. We got a car into the wall. I believe that was Isabel.
And
Keeps it going.
currently scored 18th already is Hayden Harvey. He is on the move up to 17th. I'm going to go back and take a look at what he's doing back here, as he is on an absolute tear through the field. 15th, 14th.
And a car gets into the wall hard there. Keep it going.
Hayden Harvey now up to 13th.
I do believe the yellow is about to come out here. Maybe not.
Yellow flag is out.
Yeah, there it is.
And that is
Not sure who
not
that was.
what Randy Shreves was looking for, as he had opened up about almost a full second over Billy Brickley there, at least on the exit of the corners.
And like you said, Harvey's in that 24th spot, already up to the 13th position after coming from the C main. We're only 4 laps in.
I think Hayden Harvey's driving like he's got something to prove right now, because he is on an absolute tear through this field.
Definitely looking good for sure, proving that he probably didn't belong in that C main, as he makes a couple great charges. Already up to 13th. I'm sure he's looking to peek into that top 10, maybe more. Right now, the big movers, also Tyler Clowes started 15th. He's up to 8th at the moment.
Absolutely unbelievable charges coming from the back of the field early in the race. That's going to bring us around to 1 to go. Caution lights are out on the pace truck.
Another double file restart here. It's going to help out your guys in the back. Hopefully we can keep this one nice and clean and get quite a good little green flag run here.
Green, green, green.
Shreves with a great jump over Brickley. Got the moisture on the straightaway and pushed away to a big lead. Wilkie working the bottom now, but just runs out of room as Brickley gets the charge off of turn 2. Jeremy Isbell currently running 4th, but with the challenge now from Alex Hanna and Tyler Clowes.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And yellow comes out again.
So that's going to restack the field now. They did have a completed lap, so it's going to revert back to another double file restart. So second and final attempt at a double file restart before we will be single file the rest of the evening.
Man, and Hayden Harvey in the 9th position now, coming from 24th. Also Tyler Clowes, as he started 15th. He's in your top 5 already in that 5th position.
That is just unreal how fast these guys are going to the front.
Absolutely. Alex Hanna even starting 11th. He's in the 4th spot. So the 97 for sure moving forward there, as Tyler right behind him there in the 5th spot. I don't think Hayden Harvey's done yet. So for sure this will be the last. We'll have one more shot at a double file restart, as we've had the initial start and one other after that. This will be the second and final restart, being double file, and then the rest will be single after this.
And caution lights are out on the Speedway, so we are going green out of turn number 4. I think it'll be interesting to see if Brickley allows Shreves to kind of work him up the track into the slick again, because that last restart, Brickley had a real hard time getting the traction down as Shreves pulled away to an early lead.
Shreves still out front looking good. Both of those, your front row right now,
Green
have
flag.
some laps in this, in these cars, as we go green again.
Wilkie works the bottom now, and whoa, that got
How
close
did
out of turn
Brickley
2.
go around that? Wow. Sticks it between
And
him
now
and the wall.
goes to the lead. Wow.
Around the top side of the track right now, running the wall. What a move by Billy Brickley.
Now Eric Wilkie challenging for that second place. Shreves able to battle back around
Yellow,
the
yellow,
outside. And that's going to bring our caution back out.
That's going to put Brickley up front, right when he wants it, as we will have a single file restart now. Man, good time to go to the lead, that's for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt. Brickley was all kinds of out of shape coming out of turn 2 on that last restart, and somehow managed to gather that car up and carry a ton of speed with it at the same time. So great driving from Buckshot there.
For sure, and big movers looking now. We have Hayden Harvey in the 7th position as he gets a couple more there during that last restart, but Brandon Shipley, who started 20th, is now up to 11th, looking to get into that top 10.
Just goes to show you, as these tracks go away, the drivers among the field will definitely come to the front.
For sure, even in the fixed setup here, as the track starts to go, we're having some surprisingly big movers here. Early on, we're only 9 laps down, and we're having some guys go forward in a big way.
Yeah, if iRacing is watching tonight, let me add one more request from our earlier race. We had, let's see, a real tire model for the sprint cars. Let's see, administration only cautions with DNC yellows. And let me add, how about a fixed setup that drives like these things do? Because, wow, we are seeing some amazing racing.
No kidding. Billy Brickley putting together a nice setup for these guys as something you don't see often in a fixed class. A lot of moving around as we are back to green with Billy Brickley taking them down into turn 1. Right now, Wilkie looking to that inside again.
Oh,
He's going to get
tangles
into
with
Shreves. And Shreves is upside down. A lot of your movers. I saw Alex Hanna slowing to the inside. Oh, that's got to hurt for Randy. Definitely feel for him there. Not sure how this lineup's going to work now. But Wilkie's going to hold on to the second spot. Not sure if Hanna made it through that. Looks like he did. With the minor scrapes there on his car. He's going to restart third.
Jeremy Isabel and Hayden Harvey. Looks like Harvey is going to be scored 4th.
Somebody else might have gotten taken out. iRacing saying 6th. But yeah, he is lining up 4th right now. So from 24th to 4th with 10 laps in the books. That's going forward a little bit, wouldn't you say?
Just a little.
Man, with a fixed setup, already up into your top 5, into the 4th position from the C main. Man, he is on a tear right now.
You know, I have to say, this reminds me a ton of Season 1 at USA when Mark Jessup did the charge through the field for, I believe it was 8th. Might have been 5th in the A main after starting at the back of the C main. Unbelievable.
Maybe Hayden Harvey looking to take that spotlight for the first week here.
Yeah, I'd say the driver spotlight might have to come back if Harvey picks up the win here.
Definitely looking for it as we are green again. Billy Brickley not leaving that cushion. Riding around on the top right now. Hayden Harvey looking third. He wants more as he is looking through the middle.
Big crash through 3 and 4.
Coming out.
2 cars end over end through the corner.
And
I'm not
Harvey's
sure
not
going
to get his spots. Harvey was flirting with the second position side by side with Mr. Wilkie coming to the line. I'm not sure if iRacing counted that lap or not. Looks like...
What I can tell, it did not count. Looks like Wilkie and Hanna are going to maintain 2nd and 3rd.
Harvey's going to have to work for that one again. You know, he is a little disappointed to see that yellow come out for sure. Hanna started 11th. He's actually up to the 3rd spot. So nice run for him. Like I said, we've got some big movers right now. Thomas Kennedy, as you remember coming from our B main, he's peaked into the top 10. He's in the 10th position. Man. Ogle's song, also coming from the B main. It was actually our B main winner. Started 21st. He's now 14th as Coulter West finishing, I believe, 3rd in our, or no, that would have been 2nd in our B main. He is actually up to 12th. They're still going forward. Big movers here. Man, Billy Brickley started in 3rd. He's our leader. We are going green out of 4.
Alex Hanna laying back a little bit, trying to get a run at him. But he looks like he spun the tires a little bit out of 4. Gathered it up and kept it moving, but that's going to give Hayden Harvey a look around the outside for 3rd. Wow, that was a big run. Looking inside now of Eric Wilkie. Can't quite get it done through 3 and 4, but got a decent run off of turn 4. Looks Looks like that car is getting a little bit tight
Yellow,
on
yellow.
Harvey, but once again, the caution going to come out, but they did have a completed lap this time, so Hayden Harvey will be restarting from the 3rd position. And Brickley continues to just have an absolutely incredible start on every one of these restarts, grabbing the bottom of the track and just rocketing away.
Oh man, and tough break. Thomas Kennedy looks to be in the infield. He must have been caught up in that caution as he was up to 7th from the 23rd position coming out of the B main. That is tough to see. Unfortunately for Thomas Kennedy, he had a heck of a run going there.
Some of the time, you just can't catch a break when you need it.
Yep, not sure what happened there. I'm not sure if you caught it, but
I did not catch that one.
didn't see it either. So, fortunately, something there around the mid-pack involving Thomas Kennedy. That'll end his night as he had to tow, unless he can get back out there. Might be able to get back out here.
He just needs another caution almost immediately, and that'll get him back out here in the field most likely.
Hayden Harvey, big mover right now, going up 21 positions from the 24th spot up to 3rd. Alex Hanna right behind him started 11th. Hayden Bierlein 5th. See what he can do. He gained a couple positions on that last restart. Here we go, green again. Really Brickley still out front. Better start from Wilkie that time as Harvey's going to go to the inside through the middle.
Good slider from Harvey. Wilkie battles back on the inside, grabs the bottom of the track, and is going to throw a slider to answer in 3 and 4. Look at Harvey turn the car down the track and battle right back to the inside and throw another slider into 1 and 2. Great battle between 2nd and 3rd right now. Trading sliders back and forth all the way around the track. Two very talented drivers.
Yellow flag is out.
And not sure what happened there. Suddenly lost
Wilkie
track of
blinked
Wilkie on the
out.
Speedway.
And now he is gone. So he might have been a part of that yellow. If I had to guess, I'd say so. Maybe a driver did not see where he went and might have gotten into him there.
And not sure what happened to Eric Wilkie there. Possibly just internet connection issues as he is now falling back through the field.
Might have had something to
Unfortunate
do
break.
with bringing that yellow out.
Yeah, that's quite possible. iRacing may have seen him eat the fence or something after losing connection with him and went ahead and threw the yellow since he was in front of the field.
Yep, looks like he has just exited iRacing, showing us that he has disconnected, unfortunately. Eric Wilkie, after picking up our win in the 305 class, did not finish here in the 360s.
Well, that's a tough break. Tough way to end your night when you're running 2nd. But I think that just gave us the battle we've been looking for all evening. We have Brickley, Harvey, and Aiden Bierlein starting 1, 2, and 3. As we're coming down to get the 1 to go. Let's go on board with Hayden Harvey for this next restart. See how good of a jump he gets and possibly see what it's like throwing a slider across the big Eldora Speedway with all that
You know it's
banking.
coming.
Oh, yeah.
Hayden Harvey, after starting again, 24th. I just can't get over this drive right now as he is in 2nd. We'll see what he does on this restart.
Looks like he's going to lay back a little bit off of Brickley, possibly trying to time the start a little bit, looking to the outside.
Brickley been getting great jumps as it looks like
green
he
flag.
will get another one.
And Harvey works the bottom, going to come up and grab the cushion and follow Brickley through 1 and 2. Possibly just going to ride for a couple laps, kind of size up what he needs to do to get around the buckshot.
Yellow flag is out.
And the yellow is going to come out one more time. As you can see, Aiden Bierlein was right on the back bumper of Hayden Harvey after that drive through 1 and 2.
That's what's tough about these fixed setups. Everybody's so even right now. we are seeing a couple extra yellows than usual, that's for sure. But hopefully here, as we are crossing the halfway point a little bit, we will see them straighten it out and get to see some good green flag racing here.
Yeah, without a doubt, we're just now passing the halfway point, so most of the guys that are struggling will be falling out of the field about this time. Currently seeing 15 cars still on the lead lap. Everyone else either one or multiple laps down. Looks like Thomas Kennedy coming back out on the track. He has currently scored 2 laps down. Be a long way to go to get back on the lead lap.
Billy Brickley got out to the lead and has not looked back yet. Although he might be looking up on the board right now, seeing who's behind him, and thinking, oh boy, he is definitely on a charge. We'll see if Hayden Harvey shows his nose on this restart.
It looks like he's in a better position now for this restart, and he is right on the tail tank of Billy Brickley as they come across the start-finish line.
Looking through that middle right now, nothing there as your line's looking to the outside. He says, if you're going to give up that cushion, I'm going to take it, as Harvey tries to take it back from him on the high side. Nice move there from Hayden Harvey.
Yeah, that was slamming the door, but that's going to bring out another caution. Not sure what this one's brought out for, but I'm sure Billy Brickley right now is just screaming for these guys to quit bringing out the yellow, because right there he had opened up a great lead and it evaporated immediately the second that yellow came out.
Yeah, for sure. As it is getting slick, and maybe some people aren't very comfortable with the setup because they are not in control of it, other than sliding the wing, and it's bringing out some yellows here, unfortunately.
That is one of the dangers of a fixed setup, is you can have a setup that is lightning quick, but some guys just will never quite be comfortable with it. Now you get comfortable just through repetition and muscle memory, so I imagine as the style of setup kind of wears on through the season, these guys will settle into it and get more and more comfortable. But first race jitters mixed with wanting to have a good finish to start the season, as you only have 2 drop weeks, it all adds up.
Yes, it does. We'll see what happens here on this restart, as we are going to go green next time by. Big movers now looking down. Lance Johnson from 13th is now 5th. Carl Deitch, who had started 18th, that's pretty deep in the field there, is now 6th, as we have some hard chargers here who have survived this one, if you will, through all these yellows.
Real slow pace off of turn 4. Brickley picks up the throttle, and that's going to leave Aiden Beerline and Hayden Harvey running right together for 2nd and 3rd. Alex Hanna running 4th, Lance Johnson 5th, Carl Deitch 6th. It's now Hayden Harvey kind of set sail around the top of the track, trying to run down Buckshot Billy Brickley.
As you see, most of your leaders are on the cushion right now as Alex Hanna turns it back down under that, I believe, Lance Johnson. And they are battling right now for 4th and 5th as the yellow comes out again.
Track officials probably telling the drivers right now, settle down, settle down. You got 10 to go, you got time.
Yeah, these guys definitely not wanting to wait around. They're ready to go forward now, but maybe not, as we said, quite comfortable with this setup being fixed on this slick of a track. Maybe some people struggling or simply having no patience because being so evenly matched, but seeing quite a bit of yellows here. Brickley's still out front. Harvey second. Aiden Beerline third. Lance Johnson fourth. And Alex Hanna rounding out your top 5. Ooh, Alex and Lance there were really getting after it on that last restart. I was kind of sad to see the yellow come out. They were having quite the battle there. So with Lance having no nose wing there, able to battle yet with these guys up front. So see what happens here on this restart as we will go green next time around.
And we'll take a brief moment here to thank our sponsors while we're circling, waiting for the green. Got Design Metal Art, Jessup Logistics, Sofa King Fast Sim Sports, Pushing the Cushion Productions, Speed World Hobbies, Works Graphics, and your Goyet Trucking 360 Spec Series sponsor, Goyet Trucking. And we'll be coming around to go green now. Brickley with a nice
Green
slow
flag,
pace off
green
the corner,
flag.
picks up the throttle. Hayden Harvey and Aiden Beerline nose to tail all the way through 1 and 2, continuing through 3 and 4, and looks like there's a bit of a hole that must be forming up on the cushion in 3 and 4. You can watch the car bounce as they go through the middle of the corner.
Aiden Beerline right now still just following around Hayden Harvey in third spot. These top guys with this fixed setup are all so evenly matched, as you can see they're nice and evenly spaced out right now. Lance Johnson taking over that 4th spot from Tyler Street now, who has come out of nowhere there and gets by Hannah.
Late charge from Tyler Street. I mean, if you're going to do it, now's the time to do it. And
Absolutely.
Now, look at this. Hayden Harvey reeling in Billy Brickley. About a 10th a lap that he's gaining on Buckshot.
Definitely getting closer.
Much closer down the backstretch. Harvey is within 2/10 now.
It's shaking up. We're going to have 3 to go here.
We're about to have one hell of a wild finish as Hayden Harvey is still closing in on Billy Brickley. He backed off a little bit there, possibly gotten the dirty air off that top wing.
Still riding along, waiting for his moment, it looks like. Hayden Harvey following Brickley down the backstretch, as Tyler Street did start 14th as well, so he's poked into the top 5. Nice run for Tyler.
White flag is out now. Harvey's in position. Looks like he's going to stay on the high side, let Brickley throw the slider. Just didn't have enough to turn it back down under him, so night number 1, Eldora Speedway 360 Spec Series will go to Buckshot, Billy Brickley. Hayden Harvey coming in 2nd. 3rd place will go to Aiden Beerline. We'll have interviews with them here very shortly. Let's see. 4th was Lance Johnson. Trying to get the results up here in one moment.
Got him here. Looks like Tyler Street will take that last top 5 position from 14th, as Carl Dietz comes from 18th and will finish 6th tonight. 7th, Alex Hanna, after battling up front, finishes 7th. Jeremy Isabel will take home 8th. Steven Vogelsong from your B-main winner will come from 21st and finish 9th. Matt Yorker finishing 10th tonight. Tyler Klaus 11th. Trace Olson 12th. Eric Bond 13th. Eric Wilkie, your 305 winner, 14th, being 4 laps down. Your last one on the lead lap was Tyler Klaus, in the 11th spot. But from there on down, these guys are all lapped down. Eric Wilkie 14th. Dustin Shreves scored 15th. Thomas Kennedy 16th. Caleb Harmon 17th. Coulter West from your B main 18th. Randy Shreves with that early incident will take home 19th. Brandon Shipley 20th. Jack Hitt 21st. Dustin Sargent 22nd. Austin Stern 23rd. And scored last tonight, Mason Hannigan, who actually did not grid, if this is correct. For the A main, he did not grid up, so maybe some issues there with Mason not making the grid.
All right, looks like we've got our second and third place finishers already in post-race interviews, so let's go ahead and get those started. And we'll start out with Aiden Beerline bringing home third place tonight. Aiden, you had a heck of a run out there. Looked like multiple times you were looking at second. Couple times it looked like you might have had something for Brickley, but it just didn't quite materialize. Can you tell us what was going through your head as you were making laps out there chasing those guys down?
I was just trying to get a third place. I was happy where I was at, and I just wanted to stay there. Try to look for Hayden in the restarts, but once he started going away, I just wanted to keep my position.
Well, it looked like you were running a nice smooth line around the track. Looked like a fairly clean night of racing. Looked like some initial growing pains that we kind of expect with the new series as it's all kind of fleshing out. It is season 2 now, but a brand new rule book. How did the track feel to you tonight, and what did you think of the first night of the fixed setup with this 360?
I think the track was perfect for the setup. I feel like the setup really made the drivers stick out, and it was something people had to do a learning curve with, which I think produced good racing.
All right.
And I mean, it was really good racing. I feel like the end, maybe a bottom was there, but I didn't want to try it.
Yeah, it seemed like that was something a lot of guys didn't want to really venture down there and try it out. I can't blame them because with the cars being as equal as they were, it looked like anybody that made a small mistake was going backward quickly. So congratulations on third place tonight. Anybody you want to thank?
Just my parents for letting me get iRacing, God, and y'all for putting on a great league, and I have so much fun with the league.
Well, it's fun having you here. So congratulations tonight, and hopefully see you tomorrow night for the Open Series 305s and 360s again.
Yeah, you too.
All right, and second place finisher coming up. Jake, go ahead and take this interview.
All right, Hayden Harvey, coming from the 24th position, sneaks through the alphabet soup and finishing second tonight on the podium. Hayden, what a drive. How the heck did you get out of that C main? Take us through your night.
Man, I'm just as shocked as all you guys are right now. I'm shaking, man. That coming into this race tonight, I didn't think I had anything. I was just hoping for a top 10, and especially after that heat, I was just destroyed after that. And going into the C main, I saw I had a good chance, and the inside was still good, so I just tried to go with it and stuck with it, and was lucky enough to pull through and transfer good. And then the B main after that, it was a bit intimidating being back there, especially with Jason Nygaard next to me and all that, and starting on the inside especially. I hate starting there. It's just because there's a lot more likely to get in a wreck when you're on the bottom. But I just stuck through and got to the top as quick as I could, and just got around people when I could.
Yeah, with the fixed setup, this class brand new with the 360s, something a little different. Drivers might not be used to. You definitely had that setup going, even though you can't do anything but move the top wing forwards and maybe backwards. For sure, you had that car going. However, you had that thing driving. You got it from the C main, drove up to second. Looked like you were catching Brickley there at the end. Did you have any plans for him, maybe on a late move there?
I honestly, when I got up there, I was just hoping to finish the race. By the time I got past top 10, I was just hoping to finish where I was. And whenever I got behind him, and I noticed I was catching him, like you said, my plan was wait till the last lap, last turn, and see what he does. If he would have stayed at the top, I would have committed to the bottom and rolled it around there and see what I could have done. But he went for a sort of slider line almost, and I just stuck to the top, and it was a little faster for him. And hell, either way, he ran a good race, and I'm happy, man.
Yeah, definitely. I think anybody would be after a heck of a charge like that. That one will go down in the books as one of the best runs we've seen for sure. Especially in a brand new class, you wouldn't really expect that, especially in a fixed setup series. But you definitely made her work and had one heck of a drive. Who would you like to thank to help you out tonight?
I'd like to thank all my friends and family that have been pushing for me ever since I decided to go through with this iRacing career almost, and just see what I could do in this off season while we're going through these hard times. I'd like to thank everyone on the team that helped me through that race and helped me continually every single day. I had every one of my teammates rooting for me, and they were just help. I don't even have words really. Just everyone on Vanderpool Racing and Austin Vanderpool for sticking together and putting this together for us and helping getting our names out there and giving us a chance at possibly going big. And all our sponsors, Jack's Wax, Clark Motorsports, NOS Energy Drinks, Thomas Brandon School of Gaming, Complete Collision Services, and Williams Seal Coating. Can't thank any of those guys enough, man. They stuck with us since day one, and I'm extremely thankful for it all. And a big thanks to you guys for putting this up and letting us get some racing in.
Well, we got one more thing for you before we close out this interview. You have actually picked up the Goyet Trucking Hard Charger Award tonight, going 24th to 2nd, which is going to pick you up an additional $10 for doing that tonight. So congratulations on that and the second place.
Thanks, man. That's amazing, man.
We hope to see you tomorrow night for the open classes. You plan on running any of the two open classes tomorrow with the 305s or 360s?
That is a guarantee. I will be here for hopefully both the classes. Definitely the 360s, though. This last year I was more focused on the 305s, or last season, and now I'm sort of focusing on the 360s to see what I can try and do this year.
Well, awesome, man. Good luck tomorrow. If I don't get to talk to you, a heck of a run tonight. Carry on that momentum. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, man.
All right. And now finishing in first place, picking up the win in the inaugural 360 Spec Series. That will be Buckshot Billy Brickley, who unfortunately has been disqualified for an illegal right rear tire.
Yeah. That's only in Knoxville.
So, Billy, quite a drive out there. Got to the early lead, and then it seemed like every time you'd start to check out, somebody was, crashing into somebody else, bringing out the caution. Walk me through what was going through your head when that yellow just kept coming back out and giving these guys another shot at you.
I was getting aggravated. I was finally getting good starts and good leads, and then yellow comes out. And running the top side is kind of a rhythm deal. You got to get in a rhythm and be able to run it constantly. And turned out once I got the long green flag run, that's when I kept messing it up. I kept stepping on it there the last couple laps. I was waiting for Hayden to come, but it never happened. We were able to make it work. So I like Eldora. I like running up against the wall, so that definitely helped a lot. Hopefully you can do it tomorrow night.
Yeah, Eldora definitely seems to be a track that kind of suits your style, as you've said many times, to quote the great Jack Hewitt. If you have to run the bottom, you'd rather have a day job.
That's right. That's right. The bottom is, I don't remember what meme I sent you the other day, but that's what the bottom is. I'm not a fan of it. I prefer the top. So yeah, we'll be lucky there. And then I'm sure one of these times when we go to Williams or go over something else suck, or wherever else you got to run the bottom. But we'll take advantage of it when we can run here like this.
So, anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I just got to thank Sofa King, Fast Sim Sports, Jessup Logistics, Design Metal Art, Pushing the Cushion Productions, UDSS, Speed World Hobbies, Billy Bowerman. I can't ever thank him enough. He does a lot for us and for me, so he spends all his time with me on here. So got to thank him, and then I think that's it. Thank you guys for doing the broadcast tonight for us. Sometimes it's hard for us to find announcers, but it's nice that we have a few guys that can do it. So thanks again for doing it. Hopefully we put on a decent show, and I really hope tomorrow we don't have as many cautions as we've had tonight. That's for sure.
Hey, it's all part of growing pains and a new rule book, but you put on a great show. Congratulations on the win in the inaugural race for this series. So we'll probably see you back here a few times through this season, since you helped build the setup.
Yeah, it's not my favorite setup. That's not how I would set this thing up because I know in the heat race I said, who the hell built this thing, man? This setup's garbage. And then the feature, I said, I take back what I said. It's pretty good up top, so I take it all back. But yeah, we tried to build something that's pretty decent for everybody. It's kind of a little bit tighter than what I like, but from what I've heard, it seems to be all right. It's going to have its disadvantages and advantages for certain tracks and whatnot, but we've ran a lot of races to try to see what works. So hopefully everybody, it grows on them and we can get a little bit better.
All right. Well, one last time, congratulations on the win, and we'll see you here tomorrow night for the 360s, correct?
Yep, we'll be here tomorrow night 360s. I'll be announcing the 305 golds, and then I'll be racing the 360s again. So hopefully we can do the same thing, put it on the podium.
All right. And all right, Jake, any last thoughts for us here before we close things out?
Well, hopefully next week we see these drivers get a little more comfortable with the setups and whatnot, and maybe bring out a couple less yellows. But as far as the racing went, I thought it went pretty well, as we saw a lot of hard chargers, especially early on. I mean, Hayden Harvey there, coming from the C main, typically won't see that, especially with a fixed series. So, these the setups works well for some good racing, and see what next week brings.
Yeah, without a doubt, there's always another week and another opportunity for all these drivers. So it's been a blast tonight, and from all of us here at Pushin' the Cushion Productions United Dirt Sim Series, we appreciate you joining us, and hope to see you back tomorrow night for the 305 Unlimited Series and the 360 Outlaw Series. So both of those will be open setup, and we'll be ready to put on a good show for you, hopefully. Thanks for joining us, and good night.